Hi, we're back and we're going to show you how to use your jeweler's gram scale. Each cup of boiling water, we're going to use 1 gram. So that's the only thing you have to remember, 1 gram of dye per 1 cup of water. These little things work great. The jewelers use them to weigh their diamonds. You may have some at home that you weigh your diamonds with, but most people don't, but you can get them from Amazon or from me. All you do is you lay it down. These little weigh boats, I will send some with everybody that buys the scales. I'll send some of these home with them. These are reusable little weigh boats, they're called. You just set it on there first, then you turn it on. The scale will calibrate itself to 0. So whatever you put in that scale after that will be your weight. So you can put this on there. And since I can't see the numbers, I'm going to have to turn it around. Can you read the numbers at all from there? No? Okay. So I'll just turn this around. And once I start spooning the dye in, I'll look at it. Now, for instance, it says 0.55. I'm looking for 1.0. So I'm at 0.85, so I'm going to slow down a little bit and put little bits. Now I'm at 108, so I have to take a little bit out. Now I'm at 98. Yeah, just stop at 1. There we go. So that's all there is to that. And then you'll put it in your container that you're going to use. Could be your jar, but for video purpose here, I'm going to just gently pour that into a container, and I will put water. But first, we have to put our chestnut brown. So for the chestnut brown, we want, let's see if we can show this here. For chestnut brown, I want 0.1. So I'm going to turn it on again, like this, and get chestnut brown. Now this would be a smidgen, remember, for the woolly mason jar color wheel. So you need very little. I'm going to turn it around and put what I think is a smidgen in there. Not a smidgen. That's 0.06. I want 0.10. Just about there. A few more grains. There. I'm at 0.10. And then we'll add that together with the other one. And then you put your gram scale away. That's all there is to it. Each color is exactly the same way. So we're going to kind of rinse off with the boiling water right in this little tray, because a lot of the dye is left there. And we're going to do the same with our yellow. We'll stir this a little tiny bit. But you'll see the magic carpet dyes, they dissolve very, very quickly and nicely. They don't smell very good like most dyes, so keep your nose out of there. And of course, you know you will have your mask on and your gloves and all of that. Don't do as I do, do as I say, right? Okay. So I've pretty well got everything out of there. And I'll just mix this a little more and add the rest of that 1 cup of water. And that's it. I've made a 1 cup of the solution. So all my other ones are already made. They're all made the same way. It's very easy, and we're going to do all our magic, our woolly mason jar Pro Chem dyes the same way now. I've tested it all and it works out pretty good each time. dyes are sold by weight, and when we dye it, it's the weight of the wool and the weight of the dye. So I found that the only way to be accurate is to just weigh it. That's what industry does. It's kind of hard because sometimes you'll get a half a jar that weighs the same as a whole jar. So the color won't be right unless you use a scale. So there's our yellow, all done. Now, I have some wool soaking, and we're going to do 2 jars. And this is what we're dyeing today. I'm going to do a double swatch. Remember on our Woolly Mason jar sleeves, these sleeves that go over the cards, well, we have the same. I've made the same, although they'll just slide up the bottom on these cards. So if I want to do 2 swatches, I'll choose my color, and I'm going to take a tertiary one just to show you. Let's see. I'll take one of these. I need greens, so I want a green that is kind of Christmassy, which will be this one here, I think. Which is yellow blue secondary. It's a secondary color. So I want equal parts of these 2 colors. And because I'm going to do 2 swatches, I'm going to use the sleeve, the conversion sleeve. And the color I want, let's say, is number 6. So number 6 on here needs 5 teaspoons for 2 swatches. So what I'm going to put 1 fabric swatch and 1 yarn swatch in one, and a fabric swatch and fleece in another, and call that 2 swatches. Now, this weighs 10 grams, and this weighs 10 grams. Actually 11, but 10 is close enough. 10 or 11, same thing. And it's the same as this. These 2 pieces of wool weigh the same, even though they're a little different. This is a piece of wool that's been washed, and it's door. This is something, and it's the first time I'm dyeing it, actually. I got it from Cushing's. Oops. I got it from Cushing's. I bought a whole bolt, actually. Price-wise, it's really nice, and it looks like it's going to be great for a fine cut. So we're going to see after it's dyed. So we're going to, I think I better stick with something with yellow in it, and there is yellow in that green. So we're going to take that green and do a number 6. So I'm going to add 5 teaspoons. But first I have to make a little bit of the formula. So since I need 5 teaspoons, what I'm going to do is just take 2 tablespoons of the number 7, of each, number 5, which is yellow, and the blue. And that gives me, there's 3 teaspoons in each. That'll give me enough. So I'll take a tablespoon of this. I'll just put it in there. And a tablespoon of the blue. See where I'm mixing equal parts. So it's like 1.5 teaspoons of each for colors, or
a tablespoon, 1.5 teaspoons?
A tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. But if we divide it into 4, it's, I've just complicated things, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, so we're just going to do equal parts of these 2 colors. And I'll just mix those together. And in the jar, I'm going to put 5 teaspoons. So instead of having a whole jar of that color, all I need to do is keep it separate and just mix equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now there's a little left over, But for me, I'm just going to dump that into that extra jar I told you about, or dump it out. It's not worth for me to have a whole jar made just for this little amount. So you'll get used, there'll be a chart to tell you how to do all this as well. So now that color's done. And I will take the one swatch. This is the yarn. It's put in the little bag. Remember, we don't want to stir the yarn, so it's safe in that little bag, and that's the bag, that's a recycled bag. The same one I think I used in my first video. So this is ready for the microwave. Now, I don't want the color, I want the color fairly mottled, so we're not going to worry too much about that. It's going in the microwave for 2 minutes, covered. And the other one will have the lighter wool. Now, I want to show you the different colors here. You see the Door Natural is the natural color, and this is the Cushing's wool is more of a white. So it might have been bleached a little, I'm not sure, but you see the difference. So this is going to come out brighter than the other colors. So if you want to make brighter colors, you can use whiter wool, or you can simply leave out the brown in your formula. Make a cup without the brown in it, and you're good to go. So now for Christmas, I think I'll take a red. We're going to do a red, let's say here. So this is MC2, which is a tertiary, and it's red and yellow. So I need 3 parts red and 1 part yellow. So first I need to decide the depth of color, and it's going to be a double swatch again. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'll do, I want the number 5. We'll go down here. So I need 1.5 teaspoons, or I put this on there, number 5 is 3 teaspoons. So again, I'm just going to make 4 teaspoons. I'll do 3 red and 1 yellow. And then that'll make it easy. And I'll just have a little bit left, which I'll get rid of. So here's the 1 yellow. Better put these away before I spill them. And the red right here. And I'll put 3 teaspoons of the red. Rinse that out. So 1, 2, 3. So now we've made this formula for the number 2. And if we were doing the woolly mason jar, this would be our number 2 jar. But this gives us enough, so we need to put 3 teaspoons. We'll have a little bit left over, but that's all right. So I'm going to dip this in 1, 2, and just a little touch more. 3. These are great little things. They're OXO. I got them on Amazon. I just love them. I use this one a lot for measuring. You see it's divided into 4, so it's very easy for me to do the tablespoons just by looking in there. And I set it on top of my microwave, and it's easy to see. So these colors are going to be mixed together and thrown into the big jar that I have of excess, which I use for antique black. And this is the Cushing's white and the fleece, well soaked. Stuff that in there, and it goes in the microwave for 2 minutes. So as you remember, it's 2 minutes per jar, rest 2 minutes, and then back 2 minutes. So we're going to break, and we'll be back when the wool is done.